the Deputy RDC Kabong, Madam Carol, the President's Advisor, the DPC, and the media fraternity. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Gaston Mugarura. I'm the commanding officer 45 Infantry Battalion based in Kabong. Kabong is at the farthest point of the country. We share a border with the Republic of Kenya in the east and part of the north. Then South Sudan, partly in the north. In the west, we have Karenga district. In the south is Kotido district. Like my colleague has just alluded here, generally the security situation in Kabong is relatively calm. The disarmament operations, specifically Usalama kwa wote, has yielded very good results. We have recovered very many guns through voluntary means, others by forceful means. The President gave amnesty to all the criminals who are holding guns, that whoever voluntarily hands over his gun is left to go. Very many of them had their appeal and handed over their guns. However, others up to today are still holding their guns. They have refused to hand over their guns, and we are looking out for them. As of today, ever since Usalama operation was launched, in Kabongo district alone, we have recovered 207 guns with 683 rounds of ammunition recovered. But like I've said, other criminals have stubbornly refused to listen, despite the joint efforts that we put in. And these efforts, of course, range from community mobilization meetings. We arrange meetings like the meeting you had in Kotido yesterday. We talk to them, local leaders talk to them, security personnel talk to them. Those who listen to the advice come out and hand over their guns. Those who refuse to hand over their guns, we have to apply forceful means. And some of the forceful means that we apply is the cordon and search operations that we conduct. Now, cordon and search operation, of course, purposely, its major purpose is to arrest wanted persons, capture documents, recover guns or ammunition. And most of these operations, they are guided by intelligence. Usalama operation is an intelligence-led operation. In that, in whatever operation that we conduct, we have intelligence at the forefront. This intelligence, of course, is acquired through the local leadership, through the civilian community, and even from within, because we have databases, we have information about these people. Most of the people that still have guns in Kabongo district, some of them are known. And we get this information from the reformed warriors, from the suspects that we arrest. That is through investigations and interrogation. We get information from them. So once we get information that someone is hiding in a certain village, we organize a cordon and search with the local leadership, with the GISOs. Then we go there, we cordon off that area. We make sure no one escapes from the cordon, and we screen them. Screening is a joint exercise that involves the security personnel, the security forces, that is police, us too, Uganda People's Defense Forces, the community themselves, the local leadership, starting from LC1 up to the district local council chairperson. They know these people. who have guns. Also, we are helped by the GISOs, the Gombora Internal Security Officers. Those ones who are based in those very villages, they know who is a visitor, who is armed, and who is not armed. But in whatever we do in the conduct of all this, of course, we're always very, very careful in the treatment of civilians. You know, UPDF, we have respect for the civilian community. And when these soldiers are going to operate, of course, they are very well briefed. They must treat civilians humanely. They shouldn't harass. They shouldn't torture. Even during screening, the aspect of screening, we make sure that everybody comes out from their home. They are gathered outside there. The initial screening, of course, screening itself also has stages. The initial screening, we make sure children, the women, elderly are separated from the able-bodied men. Now, once those ones are separated, they are left to go. Because in the history of Karamoja, we have not had any case of any woman who has been found to be armed. So women are innocent in all these operations. They are left to go. Their only role that women play is to give us information. Because there are some men who are armed, and we may not be knowing that so-and-so is armed, but the moment they get a misunderstanding in their homes, you find a woman walking in to the barracks or to the office of the DISO or to the office of any local leader or even RDC, then they say, no, my man is armed. So their role is very, very important. They give us information, even counseling their men. Those who are involved in criminality, raiding, robberies, thefts, when we talk to these women, they send out a message. So back to the aspect of screening, I said we make sure the children, the women, the elderly are separated from the able-bodied men. Now, even when we go to the able-bodied men that we suspect to be involved in criminality, we follow up the information that led us to the conduct of that operation, cordon and search. That is the people that we know. We find out. We ask the LC1 chairperson of the village, the Gomboro, the GISO, the Gombora Internal Security Officer. Do you know this one? He says, I know. Do you know this one? No, I don't know. So that one, we put him aside. Now, those ones that we pick out, we bring them to the battalion headquarters and we subject them to thorough investigations and interrogation. We make sure investigations are speedy. Those ones that we have zeroed on, we believe that they have guns. If we are able to recover, we recover. Those ones that stubbornly refuse to hand over their guns, then we hand them over we forward them for prosecution. So basically, when we are conducting cordon and search, the first stage is gathering information, like I've briefed you. We get this information, we identify a village where we are going to operate. After identifying a village that we are going to operate, we assemble a force, that is police, AS2, and UPDF. And the next stage that follows is briefing. Like from here, we shall go where the troops are going to be. We brief them. In briefing, we emphasize the do's and don'ts. The respect for the civilian community. That one should be number one. General discipline. No stealing. No picking of any item that is not of security nature and interest. So from there, most of these cordon operations, we conduct them at dawn. So movement is conducted at night, so that we make sure that everybody, by the time we get to these villages, everybody is within the village and sleeping. So we cordon off the area. Now, these other elements, searching, screening, those ones are done in the morning. That's when we screen, and those ones that we have zeroed on, we bring them to the battalion headquarters and we subject them for further investigations and interrogation. to specifically pick out people of security interest or equipment. Thank you. Of course, it's not that to answer my colleague here directly, that does it mean that we are benefiting from domestic violence? Yes and no. The rate of domestic violence here in relation to recovery of guns is not at a higher rate. These are isolated cases. They are isolated cases when some of these women come up to report. And in issues of security, source protection is the #1 principle when it comes to intelligence. So these are walk-ins. Somebody walks in here secretly. She doesn't come up maybe telling everyone that I've gone to report. She walks out either to a detach or directed to this battalion headquarters and give us this information. And we treat it very in a secretive manner so that it doesn't again leak out. Because if it leaks out, this woman will be in danger. So generally, we protect our sources. Once we get this information, we make sure that the culprits don't get to know how we have got this information from us. Then too, the allegation of torture in Kabong and Moroto. Like I've said, UPDF, we don't torture suspects. These operations that we conduct here, they're always intelligence-led. By the time we go out to arrest someone, that means we have enough information about him. And it's very hard for him to deny. So in most of these cases, that's why we have even managed to recover all of these guns, 200. The moment we zero on someone and we go out to pick someone, we already have a lot of information. There are people, we already have suspects here who give us information that Mr. So-and-so is armed. So the moment we bring him here, the other person is able to tell him that you are armed with this type of gun. So we are able to recover. We have not had cases of maybe forcing people to reveal information which may be turned into torture or harassment. The moment we pick out, some of these guns come out very, very easily. The issue of my colleague asked about Kenya, that is a very big challenge. It's one of the challenges that we have here. We have ungoverned spaces here, and that's the biggest problem in Kabongo here and Karamoja in general. Kenya here, part of Kenya, especially where the Turkanas are, and the South Sudan, where the Toposas live, there are very many guns. So it's very easy for someone from Kabong to walk out there and buy a gun and get ammunition. So that's one of the major challenges that we are getting in Kabongo here. We disarm today, the next day somebody goes and acquires another gun. So that's a very big challenge. Probably we have addressed this to government. Probably at the national level, they will try to engage at governments in South Sudan and Kenya, such that something is done. Probably the operations, the disarmament operations that are being conducted here can as well be conducted the other side, so that we are also safe. Be more than 5. They cannot be more than 5. They are rare cases where women come up. And like Karamoja, even some of these women are beneficiaries. So there are very few people, there are very few women who come out to report to their women that they have guns, because they are also benefiting from this gun. Yeah. Kati Kano Gaston Mugarura, nza akulira amagye ge Kabongo 45 Infantry Battalion. Tugezezaako nnyo obudde obw'emabega Karamoja and Kabongo in particular yalina emundu nyingi ng'abantu balina emundu, naye tugezezaako okwogera nabo. President yabawa ekisonyiwo amnesty. Omuntu aleeta emundu nga tumusonyiwa tatwalibwa mu kooti, tumusonyiwa agenda. Naye waliwo abantu abamu balemera emundu n'essaawa ya leero bakyayina emundu. Kati abo abalemera emundu beebu tuorganizing operations, tutegeka ebikwekweto ne tugenda. Mu bikwekweto bino mwe muli n'ekya cordon and search. Cordon and search kwegamba kwe kufuna amawulire ku muntu ayina emmundu oba omuntu akoze ebikolobero ng'ayina gye yeekwese, ne tugenda ne twetooloola ekyalo ekyo, then abantu bonna ne tubajjamu ne tujjamu oli gwe twagala. Omuntu gwe tuba twagala oba emmundu tuginoonya mu nnyumba, naye omuntu gwe tuba twagala amawulire agasinga tugajja mu bantu ba bulijjo be batugamba nti omuntu gundi alabika alina eguruupu eno egenda okubba ente oba ekotido oba ekenya oba egenda emoroto oba ayina emmundu oba yatta omuntu. Ne tugenda kati bwe tutuuka mu kyalo ekyo abantu bonna nga tumaze okubakuŋŋaanya, LC1 kyamaani w'ekyalo abeerawo, Giso omukulu w'ebyokwerinda mu Ggombolola naye abeerawo, ate naffe olumu tubeera tulina amannya ag'abantu abo be tuba tunoonya. Kati bwe tutuuka wali bwe tuba tumusanzeemu nga tumugjamu nga tumuleeta, bwe tuba tetumusanzeemu ng'abantu tubaleka bo baba nga tebalina kizibu. Ebikwekweto bino bituyambye nnyo mu Kabongo. Tusobodde okufuna emmundu 207 n'amasasi 683. Bukya ebikwekweto bino eby'okujja abantu ba bulijjo okubajjako emmundu bitandika. Kati ebizibu bye tusanga okusinga mu operation zaffe zino, mu bikwekweto byaffe bino oba okufuna emmundu, ebisinga obungi, ebizibu bingi, naye ebizibu ebisinga obungi kyekizibu kye tuyina kati ng'okuva e Kenya wano Abaturukana bwe babeera, eri abantu balina emmundu batambula nga bwe baagala. E South Sudan awo waliwo eggwanga ly'abantu be bayita Abatoposa, nabo babeera n'emmundu batambula nga bwe baagala. So kakati wano Uganda gavumenti etaddemu amaanyi abantu ebajjako emmundu, naye emmundu ogimuggyako olwaleero enkeera n'agenda e Kenya n'agula emmundu endala, oba n'agenda e South Sudan n'agula emmundu endala. So kati awo nsuubira gavumenti ejja kwogera ne gavumenti zino ezituliraanye ey'e Kenya ne South Sudan, nabo basobole okutegeka ebikwekweto nga bino, abantu basobole okubeera mu mbeera eya bulijjo n'okwekulaakulanya, kubanga insecurity eno enyize nnyo abantu, ebisolo byabwe bibbibwa, abantu bafa, enkulaakulana teriiwo. Batuyambye nnyo abakyala, nga bw'omanyi nti bantu ba mutima mugonvu. Abamu bavaayo ne batubuulira ne baripootinga nti babba baabwe abamu bayina emmundu, naye ate ne bali ababa tebavuddeeyo nabo tuorganizinga enkiiko ne twogera nabo. Mulimu NGOs mu Kabongo district ne security personnel, tugenda ne tuorganizinga enkiiko zino ne twogera n'abantu. Kati abakyala bo omugaso gwabwe kugenda ne boogera ne babba baabwe nti bannange ebintu bino ebyobumenyi bw'amateeka mubiveemu, mujja kufiirayo, mukomewo ewaka, tukuze abaana baffe. N'abamu bawuliriza omulango ogwo ne bavaayo. So abakyala batuyambye nnyo, balina omulimu gw'amaanyi gwe bakoze mu bikwekweto by'e Karamoja. Ngambye abamu abakyala bajja mpola mpola ne batubuulira, kati ekyo kibeerawo nga bafunyeemu obutakkaanya ne babba baabwe. Najja n'atubuulira n'atugamba omusajja yabadde ayagala kunkuba, ayagala kunzita, naye ayina emmundu. Kakati bw'aba atuleetedde information ng'eyo, tukikwata bulungi, tetusobola kumwasanguza nti ate baawa amutegeere oba abantu b'oku kyalo bamutegeere, kuba obulamu bwe tuba tubuteeka mu buzibu, mu matigga. Kati eyo information tugikwata bulungi ne tugifollowing up, omusajja ne tumukwata, bw'aba ayina emmundu ne tugiggyayo, bw'aba talina mmundu nakyo era tuba tukitegeera. Waliwo neeyambuzizzaako ekibuuzo wano, mbadde neerabidde okukiddamu. Omuntu baba nga bakuwaayiriza nti olina emmundu, tukyandolinga tutya? Tulina investigative bodies mu UPDF. Buli unit, even the smallest unit webeera, kawabeere ku detach, wabeerawo abantu abasobola okunoonyereza. Ezo cases zibeeramu, mulimu omuntu okuba nga alina obutakkiriziganya ne munne, najja n'amulimbira n'agamba gundi ayina emmundu. Ne kati ffe kye tukola, tukola nga bwe nabagambye nti operation zaffe zino, ebikwekweto byaffe bino byonna biri joint. Tulina poliisi, tulina internal security, UPDF, tulina ASTU. So tutuula wamu ne tunoonyereza ne tumanya kituufu omuntu ono ayina emmundu oba talina mmundu. Era bwe kisangibwa nga omuntu talina mmundu, alekebwa n'agenda. Tetubeera na muntu atalina musango. Businessman or woman involved in getting guns and arming these people. No, that one we have not got any case ever since this operation started. The only issue, actually, some of the checkpoints that you have talked about, they have helped us a lot. We monitor this Kabong, Kotido, Abim Road. There are checkpoints there. Kotido, Moroto, Soroti, there are checkpoints there. Those are some of the measures that have been introduced and have even led to the improvement of security. Right now, the rate of raids have gone down. Even thefts, even normal thefts, have also gone down. And this has been helped by those measures like you have mentioned, the checkpoints along these routes.